Have you ever looked at one of your rooms and thought to yourself, the style I want just isn't going to work here? It leaves you in a difficult position because, unlike so many other people, you know what you want. But getting there doesn't seem feasible. Most of us have budgets in mind when we look to redesign a room, so when we are faced with something that we know is going to be expensive to change, we back away completely. What do I do with these walls? They're not just the wrong color, they're the wrong material. And look at that flooring. What could this possibly ever match with? If I try to change it, it's going to be at least $15,000. I don't want to spend that right now. When these roadblocks cause us to retreat from the style that we truly enjoy, we end up designing a room for no reason. We've become committed to the activity while disregarding the result. We trick ourselves into thinking that we're being productive, but in reality, we're not. Why? Because once the room is complete, you're going to realize that it isn't what you wanted, and therefore, you'll never have that sense of connection to it. But there is light at the end of the dark tunnel. Half the battle is knowing where you want to go, and you have that. Now we just need a map to help get you there. Think of your current situation as being a horse on a racetrack. You know where the finish line is, but the only option of getting there that you can see is the straight and narrow, because the blinders that you have on won't allow you to see anything else. This might work fine in the Derby, but you're not a horse and your room is not a track. So today I'm going to show you how we went about finding other avenues for a room that a customer thought was less than ideal. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, my name is Chaudhry, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember that if you would like my help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Alex, who is a subscriber of the channel, had reached out to us to revamp his living room. He recently purchased a 1950s home, and by nature, it is structured differently than most modern homes you see built today. The ceilings are not incredibly high, and the roofs can be a bit odd-shaped, and that makes furniture layout an issue. And because of all of this, Alex has had a tough time settling in and getting comfortable in his new home. He has been proactive. He's already in the process of redoing his bathrooms with a modern theme of navies and charcoals and whites. He's also tackling his bedroom with the addition of rich wood furniture pieces, charcoal drapes, and bed dressings. But these two rooms have not presented the same challenge as his living room, and here's why. His renovation budget has allowed him to completely redo the bathroom, so there's really no need to deal with existing elements in there. And his bedroom is perfectly square. It has new hardwood floors and white walls. It's a much easier room to deal with. The living room, on the other hand, has a very rectangular shape and a peculiar disposition. There are multiple single-door entries into the room, large, wide-spanning windows and built-in shelving. The walls are constantly interrupted by something, and this makes furniture placement a complexity. On top of this, the walls are not even drywall. They're old pine panels that were painted an alabaster white who knows when. Alex described his floors as being a pain in the butt when trying to pair them with a design style, and dedicating the budget to replace the flooring at the moment is not something that he wants to do. Fair enough. I've told you the issues, but let's return to the point. Alex knew what he wanted this room to be. A gentleman's quarters type room that would allow for relaxation while maintaining a refined appearance. He wanted it to flow with the rest of the house and move in the direction that the other rooms were heading towards. As I mentioned before, if you know where you want to go, there are ways to get there. Let's take a look at what we did. This was fun to do. One large contributing factor that I haven't mentioned yet is that Alex loves to fish. His love has fueled him to travel around the world to paradise-like destinations. However, he was very adamant that he did not want this room to look like a fishing tackle box had exploded in it. If we were to incorporate fishing, it would have to be in a subtle and pure way. Now that you know that, I want you to take a look at the original room design next to the new design and change the lens through which you're viewing it. Adjust your perspective from seeing the faults to seeing the positives, from what it is to what it could be. Do you know what I see when I see the original room? A captain's quarters. And now that I say that, you're probably seeing the same thing too. The wall paneling could be leveraged to imitate the look that one would expect when entering a historic structure in a fishing village. The flooring reminds you of driftwood. It's not just gray. It has browns and charcoals, bits of black. It's quite unique. When looking through the right lens, you realize that these items already being here are a gift to us. They're not a hindrance. All of the colors that we used in this final room design were extracted and inspired by that flooring. Many times the finality of a design is reached by combining multiple styles. When asking someone what kind of style they want, they'll often respond with a more narrow sense of it. I want dark academia. I want classic. I want Scandinavian. Individually, these are all great, but blending them with something else or one another might just be the answer to achieving exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking at this room style and you're thinking, that's pretty neat, I like the classic and vintage type environment being created here, what do you call that? This theme is a combination of traditional and mid-century modern. The goal was to blend the richness and the boldness of traditional furniture and pair that with the more lightweight attributes of mid-century furniture. The room isn't enormously wide, so we don't want to cross the line of adding too many pieces with a heavier character to them. Let's talk about the accent wall on the far side. It is, in simple terms, black, but if you've ever explored the world of paint colors, you know that simple color names become mere categories. Paint companies have found ways to make very slight and precise variations of colors so that you can look at 25 hues of the same class of color family, but each have their own unique characteristics. The paint color that we used here is called onyx, and it is made by Benjamin Moore. The characteristics of warmer undertones give it a very charcoal-like appearance at certain times of the day, particularly during sunrise and sunset, when the warmer light enters through the windows. If you're working with a palette of warmer leathers, woods, browns, and you still want to have that contribution of darkness, this could be a paint color that you would consider. Look closely at the gallery wall and you'll see exactly what we did here. These are a collection of photos that recognize and show admiration for the history of fishermen. It is very difficult to present historic pieces and have anyone view them as tacky. These photographic records are part of our lineage. They have developed us as a species. They carry merit. If there's a hobby that you truly enjoy, but you're worried about how it can be included within a room that has a more mature stance, try taking the historic viewpoint of that activity and present it in a more acclaimed way. Side note, if you want a free room design from us, there's a link in the description below to have that chance. The most common thought about accent pillows, at least among men, is why. Why do you need those? Why are they there? Why do we tie a tie in a Windsor knot when wearing a suit? It looks better. It feels like something is missing without it there. If you feel that there is a void in your design, but you can't pinpoint exactly what it is, accent pillows could be the culprit and the remedy. Give them some thought. Think about different stitching patterns, different textures, colors, and sizes that will complement the other pieces in the room. Try not to box yourself into anything too matchy-matchy. Pick a few different pillows and put them together. See what works out. Use them sparingly. Use them accordingly. Use them in a way that makes sense. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.